This misconduct is deeply troubling and wholly inconsistent with the man Ravi presented both publicly and privately to so many over more than 4 decades of public ministry. Welcome back to Bible Bears, everyone. I'm Ryder Cullison. So, Ravi Zacharias International Ministries, RZIM for short, has released an interim report on the investigation that they conducted into the allegations made against RZIM's founder, Ravi Zacharias. If you watched one of my other videos in the past, there was several allegations made by women who worked at the spas that Ravi Zacharias owned. Ravi Zacharias, if you didn't know, had back problems. He often, when he came off the road, he spent 200 days a year on the road. He would go in, he'd get massage. These women, after Zacharias died in May, came forward and said that he acted in a very inappropriate manner sexually. So watch my video on that. Zacharias Ministries has now released a report, or interim report at least, on their own private investigation into this. Now, before we get into this story, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. RZIM hired a law firm. They dug into this. They interviewed dozens of witnesses. And sadly, they have confirmed, as I mentioned in my opening statement, that the allegations are true. They released a statement. They said, "We are heartbroken at learning this, but feel it is necessary to be transparent and to inform our staff, donors, and supporters at this time, even while the investigation continues." So they plan to release a full report in January. What's troubling here is they've also uncovered some misconduct that has not, at least until this point, has not been brought to light. I won't get into all the details. They haven't revealed what that misconduct is. But if you want to know some of the past misconduct, look at my previous video on this. If you look at that previous video, take a look at the comments. We all know, many of us who have loved Ravi over the years, have watched his videos. We feel too that these allegations didn't comport with the man that we saw in the videos, or perhaps some of you had the opportunity to see him speak live or publicly. The persona that you see on stage didn't agree with the allegations being made against him. You'll see that in my comments. A lot of people are saying, hey, why did these women wait till he came out until after he died? Or are they after something? And then, of course, there were some of you who said, hey, look, Ravi's been a fraud from the get-go. He lied about this or he lied about that. The person I knew in the videos, I saw a man that comforted a lot of people over the years and really did try to bring a light to the world. I'm saddened by this. I'm saddened that these reports are true. The CEO of RZIM, Sarah Davis, who is Ravi's daughter, said, "We know this will send all of us and thousands of others into grief, confusion, disillusionment, and anger. We grieve profoundly with those who suffered from Ravi's sexual misconduct." So there it is. Now, where do we go from here? Where does RZIM go from there? I, for one, will still continue to watch their speakers. I love the people that work for RZIM and a lot of the people who I suppose freelance for RZIM. Michael Ramsden, who's president of the European branch, is a wonderful speaker. Gifted. I love Professor John Lennox, Oz Guinness, Abdu Murray. There's so many great speakers that RZIM has. They're trying to do good in the world. I believe Ravi Zacharias was trying to do good in the world, but we must take caution here in that I do grieve with those who were victims of his sexual misconduct. I'm very sorry that happened. This is going to wound a lot of people. And now we're going to look at everything, or all the church leaders, skeptically. Now, I'm not suggesting in any way that we revere these leaders, but I certainly respected Ravi Zacharias, and I respected the sacrifices he made going on the road all year round. I respect the education that he got, the time he took to learn philosophy, to learn about the Bible, to endure, perhaps attacks from the audience, people lashing out at him, atheists, people from other faiths. It's a hard life. It's a hard life. Now, I'm not excusing in any way his behavior, but what I am saying is I think he did try to do a lot of good in this world. But when you're in that position of power where people are showering you with adoration, many people revere you, they just love you, you're playing to crowds, speaking to crowds of tens of thousands. Is there something seductive in all that, where perhaps we start to think too highly of ourselves, that we're immune to temptation, or that we somehow feel that we are owed our indulgences or our occasional misconducts because of the sacrifices that we are making for the Lord? Lord, it'll be okay if I do this because I spend 200 days a year speaking about you, spreading your gospel, encouraging people, loving people, lifting people up. So please allow these little missteps. Is this what happens? Carl Lentz, the Hillsong pastor, much younger than Ravi and not nearly as well known, but still a pastor of a large church, unfaithful in his marriage. Jerry Falwell Jr., not a minister or an evangelist, his father was, but an alleged man of God, who president of the largest conservative Christian college in the nation, a fall from grace. His wife, he's complicit in his wife's affair. We're going to see this more and more often. We expect this almost today from normal people, your everyday men and women. We expect it a little less so from our politicians, but we're really not that surprised. But then when Christians do it, our arms are in the air, our hearts are thumping out of our chest, our mouths are agape, and we're just in total shock and disbelief. Especially when it comes from somebody like Ravi Zacharias. Ravi Zacharias was not like a Jimmy Swaggart. He was not like a Jim Baker. He was a very peaceful, sentimental, soft-spoken, well-spoken, philosophical, loving human being. And I'm saddened that this has been confirmed, but that doesn't mean I'm going to torpedo all of RZIM Ministries. I say we pray for his victims. We should definitely pray for his family, his wife, his daughters, all those who speak for RZIM Ministries. Pray for them and listen. Above all, we should strive not to be too self-righteous here or hypocritical, because all of us deal with this darkness in our hearts. Now, unfortunately, Ravi gave in to that temptation. He sinned before God. I believe, likely, he made his peace with God before he passed on, and I imagine he is with the Lord. Some of you may disagree. Put that in your comments below. But whatever, I applaud the sacrifices he made in life, but I'm saddened, and I in no way excuse the sexual misconduct that he committed against these women in life. So the takeaway from this is just don't fall in love with your pastors. Realize that they're human, that they are susceptible to sin, especially when they're playing to huge audiences and Satan is constantly attacking them. We need to pray for them. We need to lift them up, just like they constantly try to lift us up. Guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. As always, I love you and have a blessed day.